live. Going live. Okay. Paste and go. Come on. Paste and go. Okay, that's promising. Live chat doesn't appear to be working, so that's gonna be good. Wednesday tutorial 2. Join me if you dare. Join me if you dare. Yeah, I'm a nerd. So it looks like that live chat widget though. Testing. Is that serious? Ah! It did work! You guys should actually be able to see the Oh my. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm down for that. If that's reliable, then I'm down. Anyways, gonna sit tight because we've got time. I start my live streams very early because I can. What happened today? So someone came to my my office hours. That was fun. Not much else happened. That's really the extent. So yeah, we just now sit and wait. I would like it to, because I'm trying out Streamlabs OBS purely because I want to be able to you know, like, I want to be able to have this chat interaction that happens in professional live streams and stuff like that. And apparently there's a low latency mode, which, I mean, from what I saw, was actually decently reliable. However, it's not showing me how long I've been streaming, which it's kind of scary because I don't know if this is going or not. And because my tutorial doesn't start for another 6 minutes, if no one shows up or people start complaining, it's like, hey, anybody know where the heck TA guy is? Yay! That's reassuring. I don't know how the latency is, however, I'm hoping it is much better. I've literally done everything I can to reduce latency. It's not bad. Woo! As long as it's not as ridiculous as what it was last time, because last time it was well in the 10-second range. 5 seconds maybe? Okay. So how do you guys like having chat on screen? Is that something you want to continue moving forward, or is that something you want completely destroyed and yeeted? Because it does let you gauge the comparison with me. I'm just trying to get as much information as I can. Even if it's just one person. I think I'm the only one here. I can look at the participants. There is a Robbie B as well. Oh, y'all watching the game? What game? Is this a sports thing? I don't sports. I'm a very non-sports guy. GameStop stop. Whoa, hold on, what? I am interested in hearing about this. Hold on. GameStop Reddit is fucking. No, I'm showing this. It deserves this. Tendi. Tendies, bro. Holy. Yusef here getting money. Yeah, that went up quite a bit. Interesting. 12 to 375. Jeez. I didn't even notice it. Hey, Hot Panda. Yeah, I didn't even notice that that happened. Yeah, I don't have any investments with them, so that sucks. Uh, all right, 3 minutes. What you doing? We're gonna be doing some coding bat. We're gonna do the AMC and BB. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing coding bat. Mr. Moore has picked 5 questions. Then you guys are going to get to pick basically the remaining coding bat questions I do until we run out of time. You guys are just gonna be like, quick, do this one. Quick, do this one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't talk stocks. I'm not a stocks guy. I'm a computer. Ah! I need to remind me through whatever. What are we doing? We're doing coding bat exercises to get you guys comfortable with coding. Remind me to get a lamp for the next live stream. I'm going to get a lamp and I'm going to position it right on my face. You can code your own stock bot. Don't laugh. You guys will be doing that actually in the upcoming assignments. So, uh, see, for me, I'm going to pay my tuition purely because I managed to save up $48,000 purely from working high school before university started. So, already having completely paid off 2 semesters of school, I'm still at $26,000. So I just did hard work. I've been working 3 jobs though for 2 years now. So Leslie, that's my boy Leslie. That also tells me, however, I didn't make this a private live stream. Oh no. That's pretty good. What's up? Hey Leslie, welcome to university class. I don't know if you want to stick around for this. You probably don't. It's not going to be fun. Alrighty, I am on the minute, so I've got to actually start the tutorial. Yeah, no one's here, however. I have Aria, I have Brambuson, Hot Panda, Leslie Irwin, myself, Robbie, and Yusef in the participants list. That is sad. That's my life, though, eh? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Just get started and say screw the people who show up late, or actually, like, give it 2 more minutes to let everyone pile in slowly? We got Sarah just joined the live stream now. Mark, no. Oh God, no! I have all of my people. Okay, I'm getting a couple get starteds. For Liam, why are you here? Hey Ella. Liam Kovich is from my high school. Leslie Irwin is from my public school. He moved away. My. Let's see how many more people have. All right, not many more. I'm not expecting. Teacher can't work Zoom. Hell yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna be doing some Python warm-up questions purely to get you guys in the kind of the feeling of working with conditional statements and taking text problems and converting them to code. These questions are, in my opinion, rather basic. You guys should be able to code these before the first test, because basically if you can't complete everything on this webpage before the first test, maybe the second test, you guys will be screwed. It's just a fair warning. So let's get started with warm-up 1. parrot trouble. I'm going to read the question out loud, and then I'm going to basically see how you guys recommend we approach this. So if you guys have an approach, like you've already read it and you guys think you know what we should do, start typing in chat now while I read. We have a loud talking parrot, basically myself. The hour parameter is the current hour in the range of 0 to 23. So this is going to be military time, which means that we're not going to have to do any modulus. We don't have to worry about 1 p.m. versus 1 a.m. If the hour is talking for 7 a.m. is talking before 7 a.m. or after 2000, that's 4 hours from midnight, so 8 p.m. So if they're talking from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., return true. Else we're probably returning false. So it's talking at 7, that's okay. We're not in trouble if the parrot talks at 7 according to this middle test case. The bottom test case, that's exactly what I expected. The parrot's not talking. So if the parrot isn't even talking, we can't get in trouble. So this first condition automatically states whether or not you could return true or false. The top condition basically is what we're going to be coding to. This one's rather easy, so I was kind of hoping some people would recommend how they want to go about this question, but it looks like no one's giving any recommendations. I've had more people leave this live stream. An if statement. Alrighty. So, if. Also, yeah, a lot of people have left the live stream. I don't know if that matters. However, what are we ifing? So we have two conditions. If talking is greater than 7, well, I think you mean if hour. Talking is simply a true or false value, Yusef. If hour is less than 7 or hour greater than 20. Now, does that just mean we return true and else we return false? Or does somebody see an issue? I want to actually see if someone in the class sees an issue with this. If I hit go and I ran this across the test cases, would it return what we expect? No. So we're not going to print. So the question you can see here from the 3 test cases, we're returning true and returning false. However, there is no else. Does it matter? So fun thing about return is there's... Okay, Atisha, you got it. I'm going to come back to you, however. So the good thing about return is the moment you say return, the function ends. So, yes, technically, I could do this. But there's actually no need because no matter what, return true just stops everything. But Atisha and Bram Bussin realized we need to actually check if the parrot is talking. Because, sure, if it's 6 in the morning, but the parrot's not talking, why would we get in trouble? So, I have 2 things I could do here. Number 1 would be another if statement. However, talking is true or false. Call me Bram. You got it, Bram. Bram Bussin. Sorry, that was stupid. I could return talking. The talking variable is either true or false. So if I could get in trouble and the parrot is talking, it would return true. But if I could get in trouble and the parrot's not talking, it would return false. And then, remember, it's the exact same to say else return false, but it's also acceptable just say return false. Can you join both with an and? Yes, I can. So, if I wrap this in brackets, because one thing you guys need to know is or is weaker than and. So if I say if talking and hour, then I can just return true. Whoops, I missed a variable. I can return true. So basically it's saying that if talking is true, which it is, and the hour is less than 7, or the hour is greater than 20, then I know I'm in trouble. Else, because again, it's the exact same thing to say this, well, else I'm not in trouble. Both of these conditions have to return true for me to be in trouble. Now, there's a fun thing that if I were to wrap this in brackets, what does this end up returning? I want to see if anyone can guess. So let's say I'm in the first test case where it's true and the hour is 6. What does the statement talking and hour less than 7 or hour greater than 20 return? I want to see if anyone can take a guess. I'm going to give it a minute. You guys need to catch up with me. Not a minute, of course. I just want to see if... Anybody home? False? Okay, so why would it... In certain test cases it would return false, but in certain test cases it would return true. So if I'm saying if all this is true, then return true, else return false, there's a shortcut that I can do where I can actually just, I can just return the result of that condition. So if talking is true and we're in the hour range that's like you're screwed, then I know that it's going to say true, and I know I want to return true, so why not just do it all in one step? And as you can see, that works. And I'm pretty sure that's actually the intended solution that's the intended solution that they give. But if you guys aren't comfortable with this, like if you don't understand it, this is still perfectly valid. You will get all correct. And if you don't like and, this is also perfectly valid. And if you really want to get crazy and be the most explicit you can be, this is basically the most literal, the most rigorous, well, not rigorous. Rigorous would not be the correct word. Refined. Refined is the correct word. This is the most refined solution you can offer. It is very explicit. There's nothing left to chance. Why are there 2 else return falses? Exactly. You don't need them. I could do that. That is also valid. Would that return false? No. Well, not guaranteed. It has to go in the order of the if statements. So basically I'm saying that I have a path that the code needs to follow. If hour less than 7 or hour greater than 20, if that's true, then only this code matters. If that's false, only this code matters. Then in here, if talking, if that's true, only this code matters. But if it's false, only the second block of code matters. And at the end of every block, there is no possible way that this function doesn't return a value. Because if I do this is not correct. And you'll see it fails. Why is the hour statement first? There's no reason. As long as I have all the statements it doesn't matter the order I do them. But notice how if hour less than 7 or hour greater than 20, if talking return true, what if it isn't talking? This else block is locked to this if statement. You won't get what's in here if you get what's in here. That's why it failed. However, it would pass if I got rid of that else block. Else is bound to its parent if. And that's a very big thing you guys need to remember. If you don't have the matching else statement, the code has nowhere to go. You've got to make sure that, in this case, it gets into this if statement, but it doesn't get into this if statement. There's still code to be run after. So eventually, it will come out of this if statement. But when it was the else statement, notice how now there's no further code. Like, I could say return 5. And notice how it returns 5 here, here, and here. That's because it went into the first if statement, it went and checked the second if statement and saw, okay, I can't do that. Then it basically said, screw it. None of the previous stuff mattered. Return 5. So the whole point of this warm-up is to just get you guys comfortable with conditional branching. So is there anything that you guys aren't good on, or am I good to go to the next one? Because I want to make sure you guys are comfortable, because I've got nowhere to go. I'm going to be here for quite a bit. I've got a call with Nick actually around 1 o'clock, but like, that's nothing. But if you guys are comfortable, I can pop onto string, because this one's actually also kind of important. I'm not seeing any desperate cries for help, so I'm moving on to string. I'm just going to assume that you guys have left unless you say something. Alrighty, so given two strings, A and B, whatever they are, return a string of the shortest string appended with the longest string appended with the shortest string. Okay, so this is relatively easy. I'm going to create two variables called short and long, and then I'm going to return short plus long plus shorts. Yusef, sorry to bother. Which example is this? This is string-1 combo string. The first example was warmup-1 parrot truffle. Alright. Anyways, now that we got Yusef's question, how do I determine the shorter and longer string, however? Well, you guys probably went over this in lecture, but there's two good ways. The easiest way, and that shouldn't be max, that should be min, and that. So this will interesting. Oh, I know what it is. It's isn't min for numbers. Yeah, so min is a really weird one. It returns values as opposed to like proper printing statements. So notice how at the end of the day it didn't quite return exactly what we wanted. That's because it's returned the length, like it's picked A and B literally. So that's a bit crap. We're gonna do it the other way. If len A less than len B. We're just going to take it the safer way because min and max, I didn't realize were going to be so buggy. I might look into that afterwards, however, we're on a tight schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and just code it what I was going to say the second way, but now it appears to be the only way. But yeah, so min, len, A and B would return the smaller of the two numbers. It doesn't actually return list A or list B. What I'm curious about is Python A equals ABC, B equals 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is min AB return? It does return 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a strange one. I'm going to look into that outside of class because I don't see why that was supposed to be... Like, I don't see why that wasn't working. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 was longer than AB. Alright. We're going to just collectively kill Python. Does that sound good to everyone? I think we should all just gang up and kill Python because that makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. So yeah, just go with the if statements. It's apparently more reliable, and that's sad. Python, what is are you okay, bud? Ella Brown, great. Yeah, even I can't figure it out. We're gonna just go with the if statements and say screw Python. Alright, I need to keep up with the times, so I'm moving on to Logic 1 Squirrel Play. That one wasn't too hard, right guys? Like, once we didn't try to use Python's built-in stuff, the solution made sense, right? I want to make sure that everyone's comfortable because Python and I are not in a good place right now. I am going to personally kill it. Alrighty, Logic 1, Squirrel Play. The squirrels in Palo Alto spend most of the day playing. In particular, they play if the temperature is between 60 and 90, inclusive. So this is another one of those, like, hour situations. Unless it's summer, then instead of 90, it's 100. Given the Boolean is summer and an integer temperature, return true if the squirrels play or not. Okay. So, honestly, not a hard one. And this time, I'm going to do it in reverse of how we did the first one. If is summer, I'm going to return the following. Temp greater than equals 60, or temp less than equal 100. Now, remember, I don't need an else statement. However, I do have a condition. Regardless, they can play whether or not this is true or false. It's just the range that changes. Why is that? Did I get that? Unless it is summer, then the upper limit is 100 instead of 90. 95 false. Oh. Ha ha ha. You guys probably noticed that. It's not, yeah, between the temperatures. Mark is a sleepy moron. Do da da do da do do. Yeah, it's and. It's not or. A temperature will always be within the original statement because if you think of an integer, is 1 greater than or equal to 60? No, but it's most definitely less than or equal to 90. I basically created what is called a trichotomy. I believe it's trichotomy. I can look that up real quick, but yeah, a trichotomy. And it is this. This is called discrete mathematics, by the way. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just run. Is singing a programming thing? I don't know. That being said, I am a massive musical theater geek. Doesn't matter which return we put first. Yes, but no. So this return is bound to this if. So if I wanted to say if it's not summer, then I can switch 190. But what matters is that is summer is directly tied to the correct return statement. I'm halfway to being a programmer then. Oh, trust me. Like once I get started, there's no stopping me. I was casually singing Hamilton with my friends and we finished CD 1. Why do we need to not return true or false anywhere? A conditional statement returns true or false. So if I pull up a Python terminal, if you type 5 less than 50, it returns true. So when you're saying if, like, say 5 less than 50, what Python does is it actually, when running the code, it deletes that and says if true. Then it recognizes if true and says, okay, I can go that way. Yes, you're exactly right, Atisha. We know the second return statement is not bound because of its indentation. So you can see that this return statement is inside this if statement because it's indented. Most other languages do this. They will wrap brackets around it to make it explicitly clear. Python is a white space language. It doesn't believe in brackets. Additionally, since we could say, because this question was brought up, if this condition true, I can say return true, else return false. So notice how every single item is on its own indentation level, and you can even see that CodingBat kind of puts dots to show you like this first if and this last return are on the same hierarchy. Alrighty, I've got to keep up with the time, so if I don't have more questions, I'm moving on to Logic 2, Lucky Sum. I'm going to give it until I see my clock hit 11:56. Once I see my clock hit 11:56, we are moving on. If I have time at the end of this, I will answer questions and play Hexihashi, which was made by Nick. Because I like that game. I don't know if you guys have tried Hexihashi or not, but it is a fun time. I will tell you that. Okay, I think I've waited long enough to the point where I'm comfortable moving on. The participants have only shrunk since I started this, but is it though? It is. It is a fun game. It's very fun. So, Logic 2, Lucky Sum. Given 3 integer values, A, B, and C, return their sum. However, if one of the values is 13, then it doesn't count. So if A is 13, I return 0. If B is 13, I return A. And if C is 13, I return A plus B. Else I return the sum of all three. This is horrid. This is just a lot of if statements. Because literally all it is if A equals 13, return 0. So if you don't know, else if is abbreviated as elif inside Python. So elif B equals 13, return A. Elif C equals 13, return A plus B. And then finally, if none of them are 13, return A plus B plus C. Oh, that's just yucky. It's just yucky. Honestly. Let's see if there is a way for me to... Because, like, I was originally thinking if I made it a list, which would be way too advanced for you guys at the current moment, I could just remove the elements of 13. However, it's all future items, too. That's just disgusting. I'm sorry, guys. What's the difference between elif and else? Elif is literally the following. That's all else if does. And then these would all get indented 1 because it's a massive else if change. It is horrible. Just use elif. Second, why do we need to use equal and not single equal? Single equal is what is known as mathematical assignment. In math, you would write x colon equal 3 to say that the variable x is 3. Now, Python 3.7 has the walrus operator. That's what we call it. Colon equals is called the walrus operator. However, the server's not on 3.7. So the only possible way we have to write equals is straight up this, x equals 3. And because of this, in order to actually compare equality, we need 2 equals. Because then how is Python supposed to know the difference between assignment and comparison? If you guys want to know more about the walrus operator, I can talk about it in a different situation. However, you guys will never use it. In the terms of this course, it doesn't exist. Do we need that last else? No, we don't. You are absolutely correct. This is just as valid. Completely. Basically, rule of thumb is if your last... So if you have an if statement and the else block is the rest of your code, you don't need the else. That being said... What if I do this? No. If A is 13, we stop adding all elements to the right of it. Remember, it does not count towards the sum, and values to its right do not count. The else statement is implied, however, notice in this if statement, I actually do need the else statement. Because if I run this, actually, that can't even be, apologies, this, I was going to show something else and deleted too much. So this works. However, the else here is 100% needed. Does anyone want to take a hazard as to why this is needed? So what happens if I do that? Any guesses? If no one says anything, I'm going to click go, and then I should see all of these boxes be green. I believe in you guys. I'm about to click go. You can type faster. I believe you. An error would pop up because sum is not defined. No. Python's dynamic types. Not quite. Oh. What happened with this one? Let's take a look at that one. The sum variable. If a is 13, sum is set to 0. Now, we're supposed to instantly return that 0. Notice in this test case, a was 13, and the output was 0. But look what happens on this line. It's not a part of the if statement. No matter what, sum is always set to a plus b plus c. So the else statement was actually needed. But if I were to reorder the code to do that, everything's fine again. And in fact, I can actually now... I could do that. And that's still also correct. Oh, there shouldn't be a space, but that's also correct. This is what Nick meant by there's no such thing as original code. I don't know if you guys read that. However, in the course outline, Nick states that there's 100 ways to code the exact same thing. And there are. Every single thing you do is your own preference and how you do it. What does minus equals mean? Minus equals is the same as writing that. Sum equals sum minus c. However, it is just much shorter. That's all it is. Same as if I wanted to add c, I would do plus equals. That adds another c to it. Okay. I've got one more that I have to show you, and then you guys get to have any requests you like. Given an integer array of length 3, return an array with the elements rotated left. Can we use return instead of sum? 100%. I will go back and right here, I will put it back in the return way so you can see how that works. That's return 0. That would be return A. This is return A plus B plus C, or sorry, just A plus B. And this final one is return. So if you wanted to use return and you didn't want to use any local variables, there you go. You click go, it all still works. How you choose to go about it, it's completely up to you. Okay, I need to ask you guys, have you seen lists yet in Python? Have you covered that in course? Because if not, I'm going to have to introduce you guys to the concept of a list. Because I'm more than willing to go straight up like what a list is. But I'd rather just get straight into the coding if I could. I'm not seeing any messages. This is really inconvenient. It would help if I had more than 4 of you watching, but that's the life of a TA. So just a refresher, if I have L is equivalent to this list. I see. So if I do L is equivalent to this list, and I typed, what was L1? Alright. Screen quality is very bad. Oh no. Is that a recurring thing, or is this just Haley? Because if this is a recurring thing, then I don't want to... Alright. I'm gonna go under the assumption it's just you. But I've been having problems, but I thought it was the internet. If you guys are having issues, likelihood is it's not me. Or sorry, likelihood is it's me. I'm gonna take the blame. I think it's probably the low latency settings. It is almost most definitely the low latency settings. Okay, it says there's 22 watching now. It's probably then me, because, yeah, I tried activating some low latency stuff. Okay, next live stream I'm going to increase the latency. It's really the only thing I can do, so there's like a 30-second delay. No! I did all of this to remove the delay! You can't do this to me, YouTube! You gave me a whole bunch of options for reducing delay, and now I'm gonna have to just... Ah! Okay, who wants me to post a video later to my, Yeah, who wants me to post a video later to my YouTube live, like my YouTube channel, of me literally just going into a field and screaming into the sky? Because, I will. I will just go record a YouTube video of me screaming in a public, like the local school field, and I'll just scream into the air. I 100% will do. Okay, I'm gonna go do that immediately after this. Okay, a list. A list is a series of values, all related to each other, in which can be called upon using the numbers 0 all the way to the length of the list minus 1. A list is stupid. A list does not know how humans count. YouTube versus Mark 2021. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this battle, but I'm sure gonna put up a fight. So, if I wanted list element 0, it prints 0. If I want list element, let's say, 1, it prints 1, etc., etc. Email Susan right now. I'll scream with you. I would love that. Anyone near Halton Hills, let me know. So, nums is a list. It's a list of elements. I don't know what the elements are, but I'm going to use that test case as an example. And what I need to return would be 9, 5, 11. Every item shifted 1 to the left. The first item goes to the end. What does hashtag do? Hashtag is comments. Hashtag completely unseen. Nobody can see it, except you, but the Python ignores it. So literally all this question is asking us to do, and it's really stupid, is it wants you to return a list. However, you just shift the indexes by 1. Yeah, hashtag is for comments. Yeah. So notice how, because the original order of the list is nums. I will drive half an hour to do it. Oh, I would love that. So that's what the list originally looks like, and I'm gonna actually line it up. And all this question wants us to do is it wants us to take this guy here and move it to the end of the list. And that's all. However, you would think that there's some sort of clever way to do it. There is not. There is no clever shortcut way to do this. It's just this. Which example is this? Rotate underscore left 3 from list 1. Never mind, I found it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so the question's basic, but the problem is it's using a concept that you guys haven't seen. Why is it hashtag nums? Sorry, these are comments. So if I delete that, everything still works. The comments have nothing to do with the code. I was just showing you, like, input versus output. So if I did oops. Does that kind of help you see why I'm doing what I'm doing? So like, this is an example input, this is an example output. It's just comments for me to see what it is. Nums, what does nums stand for? Nums is a list. It is a list of items. A list of items in which can be accessed. So I'm going to pull up the good old Python terminal again. I'm sure you guys love the Python terminal. So, let's say nums is the list 11, 9, 5, mercy. Because why not? Why? Unrelated, but on the assignment, should we delete the raise not implement? Yes! Raise. Anything that says raise that we didn't ask you to code, delete it when you are done. They will never show their face again. But anyways, back to this. Nums is a list. Yes, not just they said it in the announcement, I said it in the announcement. Ha-ha! So nums is a list of items in which can be accessed with numbers. I just realized there's no way in hell you guys can read that. Anyways, so if I do nums 0, I get 11. If I do nums 1, I get 9. If I do nums 2, I get 5. And if I do nums 3, I get mercy. And as you can see, it wants us to generate a new list. However, it wants us to take 11 and put it to the end of the list. In order to do that, I just go nums 1, nums 2. In this case, there's 4 elements for me to do it. Mark said it. Yes! And nums 0. Now, I know mercy is not a number. However, the point still stands. Does that help clarify? Or would you guys like more? Because you guys will go over this in lecture very soon. That being said, when you guys get to dictionaries, I am going to have a field day. Because if you guys don't want any more, I have 5 minutes, and there are solutions that I haven't done where you guys can now make any requests you like. And then after this, I'm going to change. How would you do this with any numbers? Good question. So, I can return... Wait, is it nums just a word you decide to pick? Yeah, it's just a variable. Can we practice on the website? Yes, the website is codingbat.com/python. Can you do logic 2, no teen sum? I will do that immediately after this. I want to show you, in order to do something, we need to first say n equals len nums, where nums is the input array. That should be an equal sign. I would then equal 1, and we would use a while I less than n. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create just a generic list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do l.append nums I, and then I'm going to do I equals I plus 1. What this will do is it will keep taking elements of the list and adding it to the end, and then all I'm going to do is return L, except I'm going to append nums 0. This is one way to do it. You can also do l.append nums 0. This is a generic solution that, not append, append, and this should, what do you mean? Ah, whoops. That doesn't actually return anything. I need to do l.append, then return L. It's really stupid, but this is generic. For the functions on the assignments, do not ever add extra variables. You will fail, you will get a 0, we will have no mercy. Okay, logic 2, no teen sum. I saw that one come up. We're gonna do that guy. Because Aria, I'm so sorry. Aria would want it. How do you do it with any number, inputting A, B, C numbers into the function? So yeah, I hope that helps, Haley. It's still rather advanced for what you guys have done, so don't worry about it. When we get to for loops and while loops, it will be a lot easier to understand. Okay, no teen sum. No teen sum. Oh. Given 3 integers, A, B, and C. Could you do another list one after? Yes, I can. Go ahead and pick one, however. Very swifty. Given 3 integer values, A, B, and C, return their sum. However, if any of the values is a teen in the range 13 to 19, then that value is 0. However, 15 and 16 don't count. Write a separate helper function in which takes in and returns the correct value. Okay, so this question is it's intimidating but easy. So first we're gonna do that fixteen function. It's going to take in a value n, and it's going to return what should be added. So, if n is greater than or equal to 13, and n is less than or equal to 19, then it falls within the teen range. However, we then have to say if n equals 15 or n equals 16, because that's our second condition. List 1, same first last. Got it. I'm on it. That will be next. So if n equals 15 or 16, you return n. That's allowed. However, if it's not 15 or 16, you return 0. And in every other condition, we return n. Now, there is a way to make this prettier. I'm going to use the not equals operator to switch that, and I'm going to actually be able to remove that line because it's not else locked. And I can explain afterwards. However, I'm going to then just call this function with the variables a, b, and c. N is not defined. Ah, I didn't make it a. I'm stupid. And why is it not? working. 3. Ah, whoops. That will always return true. There we go. So what I've done is here, if n is greater than or equal to 13 and is less than or equal to 19, it's in that range. It is a dangerous teen number, as long as it's not 15 or 16. So if the number isn't 15 and the number isn't 16, then cool. It is a dangerous bad boy. We shall kill it. But if it fails both of these, it's an acceptable number, right? N is just n. It's okay. It's not like we don't need to bend it over and spank it. I don't know. I'm just weird. So basically, you can think of this like a series of if-elses. However, because this return n is on the first indent level, it is the ultimate else. It is the if everything else has failed, go here type thing. Okay. I don't have much more time to go over it because I'm already over time, but I saw list 1 same first last. I will do list 1 same first last. Same first last. This one has an H, so it has a hint. It's a last resort option. Exactly, Leslie. Given an array of ints, return true if the array is length 1 or more, and the first and last element are the same. This one's easy, so I'm going to blast it off. If len nums, because that's the name of the array, is greater than 1. Oh, greater than or equal to 1. Apologies. I was literally wondering why my code wasn't running, then I realized I was missing a grand total of 3 colons. Oh no! I'm actually going to say n equals len n. This is just because it is prettier to write. Because I'm going to need it a lot. If the list is greater than or equal to 1, and, because now we need to compare the head and the tail. Now remember what I said about an array. An array always goes from index 0 to n minus 1, where n is the length of the array. So if Jupyter still isn't working, ew, private message me on Teams. I shall take care of it. Could you say what len is again? Len is the function that just tells you the length of a list. Yeah, I'm lagging again. How do I hand in the first assignment? If you can submit via Avenue. That's a thing. He's lagging. This sucks. So if array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 7 items in that array. Len returns the length of the array. It's the size. So all I have to do is compare the first element, index 0, to the last element, the length of the array, minus 1, and simply return true, else return false. Yes, len is length. Len equal length is indeed true. I will type it because I am apparently lagging. And they didn't even bother making... Oh yes, Python has a pretty way. If you do minus 1, it will automatically assume you mean len nums minus 1. Python is nice that way, which means you could also do minus 2, and it will go 2 items from the last. That is quite pretty. Okay, I'm going to move over to Microsoft Teams if you guys have any questions, because the live stream is laggy. You guys know where to reach me. A lot of you do commonly reach me. And for future streams, I will turn off the YouTube ultra low latency mode and just go with the casual low latency mode and see if that helps. I really hope it does. Alrighty, guys. Why aren't we saying length array? I say, so the array's name is nums. The question says that the given array of ints, it takes in nums, therefore we can assume nums is the array. I save that to the variable n because I hate typing len over and over and over and over. However, you are perfectly valid in saying len nums. Like, that's still valid. Here you could do len nums. Yep. YouTube is bullshit. Yep. That's valid. What's another way? I could change nums to be array, if that is friendlier. Nums is not defined because I renamed it to be array. Boom. You have options. Okay. Yeah, I've got to let you guys go, but you can contact me whenever. I'm gonna go run to the public school field and scream. Anyways. Bye, guys.